In one of my most recent videos, I said it's not all glitter and Kit Kat bars. And what do I mean? If you want to be a business owner and you want to be successful, there's sacrifices that you have to make. But a lot of people are asking, how do we do it? So we're going to talk to you about how we do. My name's Sean. This is Sean.
Hi.
This is Airbnb Automated. And let's talk about being successful.
So you might be asking yourself, why the hell are we out here in Winter Park, Colorado, when it's freezing? It literally is 10 degrees outside right now. And so I might be asking myself the same thing, but actually it's a hell of a place to come. If you guys ever get a chance, it's not just beaches and islands with us. We do get to go out to some really cool places like this. So how is it that we're here in Winter Park, Colorado in December? How is it that we're going to Colombia in January? We're going to Mexico in January. I'm going to Guatemala in February. And then we're going to Japan in March, and we're doing all these crazy things. We're going to Greece for my birthday.
Yeah, that's June.
And so
probably Serbia for mine, and April.
Again,
yeah.
So not trying to soft brag or anything like that. I know a lot of you people think that some of the times that we post these travel stuff, it seems like kind of we're humble bragging. But the reality is what we're trying to do is inspire you to do the same thing. And I can guarantee you, wherever you're at right now, unless you're making his kind of money, like I haven't been there yet, but I've been as low can be, all the way to where now I get to travel full time and do real estate full time.
And another thing is, it's not just to brag, but it's real, right? That's the thing. It's not like we're showing you something so you can see it, so we can say, hey, look how cool we are for getting there. It's just like I said, you have to have a destination in mind. If you want to get to this kind of point of freedom in your life, you have to have an image of what that freedom looks like. Like, where are you going to be? What are you wearing? What kind of computer do you have? At what tiki house on what island are you on your computer typing an email while your money is rolling in, right? I want you to map that whole world out and then draw the line backwards, because you know where you are now. But if you can vividly imagine your future, where you are 5-10 years from now, you can then from in a reverse format go, okay, so what do I need for the last mile of the journey? To achieve that. And then you're going to create little waypoints all the way back to you. It's almost like you're leaving breadcrumbs for your future self to follow, right? A lot of people who are masterful at achieving their dreams are able to kind of create this type of architecture where they can go from the destination back to the current state, right? So in our case, we both were homeless in Houston within a year of each other. I was homeless in 2009, coming into 2010. Right? And you were homeless working at that organic restaurant, living out of your car. So I was living out of a van, he's living out of a car. Mm-hmm. So we both, at the turn of 2010, were not doing good. Not at all. And we're both here.
And we both are named Sean. That's weird.
Strange. And we're both going to get a like for this video, right?
Yeah, and a subscribe and a comment.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. On Instagram or YouTube?
I'm just a YouTube guy, but if you find me on Instagram, I'm Airbnb Automated.
Yeah, you know who I am. So
you know who he is. He's the pretty one. And that's why he makes so much money in real estate. I work hard and he looks good.
So let's break down exactly what it takes to get started in this kind of lifestyle. And then we're going to go back a little bit how we got here. And then I'm going to talk about some pitfalls too once you get there, some things to be mindful of.
Yeah, so the first thing that you mentioned was that you have to, how'd you put it? You have to have either a passive or work remote income.
Yeah, so all this e-commerce stuff, that's pretty cool, and you can go to Bali and you can live off of pennies, which is true. I mean, you can make money off of doing all sorts of weird life hacks. Mm-hmm. If you can figure it out, awesome. I'm not that smart. He's a smart guy. I'm kind of dumb. If you guys know me in real life, I just kind of stumbled and fumbled my way into this kind of lifestyle. So the thing that really worked for me was real estate. Whatever that happens to be for you, that's great. But this is not a free ride. You have to make money. And so if you're not making money right now, the first thing you got to do is figure out, how do I make more money?
So we both make some passive income with Airbnb, right? So obviously, disclaimer, we both like Airbnb a lot. So we both have property. We have people who manage our properties. And so when we're not there, somebody else is cleaning the bedrooms, the bathrooms. They're handling guest communication. If somebody breaks something, we have somebody who fixes it. And that's a lot of it, is we've created a system for where our properties now have Airbnb revenue, which is way more than a regular rent. Like the rental to Airbnb ratio, you make 200, 300, 400 times the amount of rent you'd normally collect. So that's been huge. And that's what allows us to pay people to do it for us, right? If you were like a regular landlord and you make $1,600 a month off of a tenant, you get maybe a couple $100 extra. You can't really pay people to run a big business, right? So cash flow is king with Airbnb, which allows us to pay people to run our life for us too.
And even though we don't see eye to eye on exactly how to do Airbnb, he's rental arbitrage. If you guys are watching my video right now, make sure to go over check him out, Airbnb Automated, because my way of doing it might not be best for you. But I like to own stuff. He likes to rent and then use that to do it from there. So either way, whatever way you get to your end goal, it doesn't matter. Like I said earlier, e-commerce could work or whatever you figured out. Just figure out a way to stop being like a slave to your boss. Because as soon as someone else, like I love this quote, is that if you have someone else telling you about your future, I can guarantee you that they do not have much in store for it. Like everyone's looking out for themselves, and if you're trying to work really hard in a company for a very long time, the likelihood is that it's not going to end well for you. You got to figure out a way to get off their boat and start making your own boat.
So with that said, let's take it a layer deeper. Like we're telling people also to like find other people to work for them too, right? So like a leadership thing, like Richard Brunson says, he says, train people or coach people to be great enough that they can leave you, but treat them well enough that they won't. So if you could be one of the few people who actually like has somebody's best future in mind when you're currently paying their salary or their weekly pay, but you're also like helping them become awesome in their future, then they will stick with you longer and they will work harder for you than they've ever worked for anybody else because you actually have their back. And so the guy that's running his Airbnb business is super young, right? Wants to get into real estate. And you're showing him like every single angle of real estate there is to see. And then the people on my team, one of my guys is like been loyal to me 6 years. When I hired him, he was knocking doors in the snow with like flip-flops, with shorts and flip-flops, knocking doors, selling magazine subscriptions. So find people, make them better, give them a better life, but continuously invest into them. And those people you invest in will have your back. So you can go take a trip, like his Why I Grind video, like 14 countries in one highlight reel. And you can do that and somebody's going to have your back while you're gone. Because that's the thing, is you have to have people you trust. Because unless your money's like in the stock market and it doesn't rely on people to grow, then you really need people. People is the secret to passive income.
So quickly, just to echo what he said, everyone that I work for or that works for me, my goal is to get them to retire from working for me. Like Josh is my property manager. He was my assistant for a long time, and I was like, hey, manage my property, manage a couple of my properties. Hey, link up with these people that are also doing Airbnb that are my clients. And now he's got his whole portfolio, and within the next year, I hope for him not to be my assistant anymore and to be full-time owning his own like property management company. So definitely invest in your people and they'll invest in you.
So that's kind of what it looks like, right? So goal one is to understand how the economics of time versus money works. Somebody's going to give you their time, you're going to give them some money, but less money than you're making a profit off their time, but they trust you to be their leader and to pay them, right? So that's one. So then two is like the other part that matters to this is like how to get there. And what's funny is we both have a very different Airbnb journey, like you said, right? We both have different philosophies. I rent all my properties. I try to get in as cheap as possible, buy the furniture, flip that thing and make some money on top of my rent payments. You know how to get into property for dirt cheap buying though. So you like to buy and get like an equity, like appreciation, make money a few different ways off your properties. So you're making more profit per door on average, I'm sure. And then of course I'm winning on volume on my side of the fence, but they're both very viable.
So yeah, if you guys need to learn more about that, he's got entire playlists. He's actually doing a course he's going to start selling. I got playlists as well. They're all for free. If you guys have any questions about anything in life, it's 2019, almost 2020, and you can read a book. You can get on the internet. You can get on YouTube. There's so much free information out there. If you're lacking in some part of your life and you don't like where you currently are at, the only thing that's stopping you from being someone that you're supposed to be is you. That's it. I mean, I'm sorry. No matter where you're at, I mean, there's certain kind of life situations, let's be real, there's certain life situations that do kind of put you a little further back than others, but if you have an iron will, I don't know about you, but even when my life was just rough, there was nothing that's going to hold me down, there's nothing going to stop me. I was just going to grind, and I just knew that there were better days ahead. Oh, this cold weather is getting my...
It's too great, isn't it?
I am your father. So anyways, the point is just to have that, like I said in the Why I Grind video, have that bulletproof mindset and just keep going through it. And it's going to suck. Like, times are going to suck. Life is not all sunshine and roses when you're trying to climb a mountain. You're going to fall, you're going to hurt yourself. There's going to be depressing days, there's going to be sad days, there's going to be days that you just want to give up, but just know that tomorrow might be a little better. If you just keep on
and there
pushing,
will be some good tomorrows, though, too.
Good tomorrows are great.
Today's
been great. I mean, it's cold, But today's great. I get to hang out with my buddy, and we're just sitting around planning our future trips, and it's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I take the rental side. He takes the equity side. If any of you do Airbnb, we'd love to hear it in the comments. Like, put your story. Like,
how you doing?
Do you buy? Do you rent? Like, what's your shtick? And for those of you who don't do Airbnb, maybe put in the comments like what you think is cooler.
Yeah. If you guys put in the comments if you guys want to see Sean versus Sean video, like what's better, buying or rental arbitrage?
I mean, there's plenty of opportunity in rental arbitrage, or I mean, on Airbnb, right? So rental arbitrage, equity. There's actually different ways to make money in Airbnb that is neither of our place, which is important. So
experiences. You guys can make a lot of money from just.
Well, and
that's a different video. We're like going way off.
There's co-hosting too. You can co-host. You don't rent. You don't own. You just equity share with an owner. You can co-host. And some cities you have to co-host because you can't do arbitrage and you're limited to one home if you own. Like Seattle's really tough for that right now, right?
So let's end this video with...
oh, it's not over yet, son.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It's not over yet, is it? We just talked about how you need to understand that you're going to pay somebody to run whatever you build. 2, you need to understand that you have to build something, and it's going to suck to build. But the question is like, what can somebody build? Right? Because people, they're asking you, like, how do you get it done? All the philosophy in the world is great, but like iron tax, like what can somebody do to make money? So the question is how much money do you need to travel like he does? Right? So that's the question. A ballpark figure. How much money does somebody have to have, like, remote passive in order to, like, travel like you do? How much do you think that spend it looks like?
So, I mean, if you figure out the way to really do cheap flights, which are definitely price hacks, and you stick to places like Bali and Thailand, like Southeast Asia or Mexico and stuff like that, you really find, like, the cheapest ways out and you're flexible on your dates. You can get flights for $200 to $400. And then once you start getting into the Airbnb world, you can get into hostels for like $20 a night, or the Airbnb stuff if you go with a group. You get it for super cheap too. And so if you're not trying to do it like us, whenever we have a bunch of camera people that come with us.
Yeah, that gets expensive.
You can do a trip. You can do a solid week trip for, I don't know, $700, probably cheaper. I mean, with the flight included.
So $700 a week. Right,
$700 a week. If you really want to start getting some luxuries and eating some nicer stuff, then maybe $1,000 a week.
So you need to make $100 a day passive income. You want to travel, see the world, like, free from the man. $100 a day. That's it. That's not a lot of money. I mean,
it was for me.
Remember when it was a lot of money?
Yeah,
but now it's not a lot of money,
I would
right?
work doubles at a waiting shift just to get $70 a day.
So let's give you some examples of $100 a day, right? Okay, so first off, Airbnb. You have one home that profits $3,000 a month after management. That's $100 a day. He does that. I have a property I rent. It's harder when you rent to do Airbnb, but you can still profit pretty good. I have one property that profits more than $3,000 a month as an arbitrage, but they're hard to find. But I've got one. My YouTube channel, for example, makes a couple $100 a day in ad revenue. So arguably, I could disappear to Bali or Thailand on YouTube income alone. Yep. You can sell education products, and so Sean Ray's not the kind of guy who's ever going to try to like pound you to like learn his secrets, because it's a lot of it's experience. Like I think. So I am putting words in your mouth, but I know you. You're not trying to sell a course.
No, I never have intentions of selling a course.
So if you're not like Sean Ray, who like understands that a lot of it's experience, and like he can outwork you, and even if he sold you a course, he'd still outwork you, kind of thing, right? If you have something that you know well enough that you could honestly give some free information away to build an audience, and then could like charge people for something else that's truly valuable on the back end, you could create an education products business. But there's a lot of philanthropy that goes in an education products business, because you do have to give a lot for free to people, and that's really the proof that you know what you're talking about. If you can't give away an intermediate level of information for free, you can't sell expert information. Nobody will believe that you have it. But so selling courses is one.
I want to interject real quick. Just if like real estate's not ding ding, sorry to sound the alarms, but real estate really isn't my passion. It's just like this is like I love just living and not having a boss. That's my passion, right? But my real life goal is to one day, raise kids to a martial arts studio. And if it wasn't doing real estate, what it would, like a cool other idea would be opening up a website or a YouTube channel that's just online, interviewing different martial arts schools and teachers throughout the world, getting a lot of views to that, maybe doing some teaching lessons to that, and then maybe even creating a course that people can pay online and just have a step-by-step process of exactly how to do each individual martial arts that I train. And so I'm not saying that's going to be making me millions and millions of dollars, but it's enough to live in Bali. It's enough to live in parts of Mexico, Oaxaca. You can live for cheap in Oaxaca. And Oaxaca is awesome. If you guys haven't been to Oaxaca, you should go.
I didn't think about that. So yeah, you being like, what, third Dan Taekwondo black belt?
In one martial art, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a start, right?
Yeah.
You got to learn the first one. Master one. Bruce Lee said, I'm more afraid of a man who's studied one kick 10,000 times than thrown 10,000 kicks one time.
Yeah,
like that.
Bruce Lee's cool, but if you study the wrong kick 10,000 times, then...
You're still the wrong kick.
you do the wrong kick.
Still the wrong kick.
It's like, what are you doing? You're doing that really weird, but you're doing it well.
Yeah.
You're never going to use that in real life. Okay. You want to say anything else before I do the final point?
Yeah, so $700 a week, which is $100 a day. There's a lot of ways you can do it not even using people. There's a lot of technologies that you can run a $100 a day business.
Robots are awesome.
Robots are cool. And subscribes are cool. I know we mentioned it before, but subscribes are way cool.
Do you like a subscribe or a like more?
I like a subscribe because I like to connect with people, and a like is just like, hey. But a subscriber is like, hey.
How about a comment? Is like comment the best? Well, do you ever answer your comments?
Absolutely, bro. Yeah. I'm all up in them comments. I'm all up in my own DMs.
I got Justin T. If you're watching this, Justin T is the only guy that comments, and maybe my mom.
Justin. Okay, so Justin.
And he just won $25 today.
Yeah, Justin's from Houston, by the way. I met him in a Lyft. So he's a programmer. He's a programmer who took me to the airport when we flew to Thailand.
No
That's
way.
how I met Justin.
I did not know that's the story behind Justin.
Isn't that wild?
Wow.
And so he's actually writing a blog software for my Airbnb thing. And he's picking up an Airbnb right now in Houston too. I mean, it all comes together. Believe in the universe, and you'll be okay. Study, always be learning, always be giving value to people, be a team player, and grind harder than other people grind. And people will find you because of how hard you grind, and your opportunity will come. And I guarantee you a $100 per day opportunity will come. It's not that hard. I know it's daunting, like when you don't have it, but I mean, so think when you were homeless, how big did $100,000 a year seem?
Well, when I was homeless, Instagram models weren't a thing. And if I knew that was going to be a thing, I would have became an Instagram model. I'd be like, yo, screw this. I'm going to post pictures of myself at the beach.
He may actually have an account with like 17.2 million subscribers, and he hasn't mentioned it.
Don't look for it. Don't tell him the name of the account. So I told you a lot of positives and a lot of pros and ways to get here. But lastly, before I go, I want to always kind of balance it out. And the realities of once you get here, because I know I'm a big fan. If you guys don't know who Colder is, I love Sam Colder, and I love all these people that go travel the world. I'm like, man, all they do is just hang out with these beautiful models and just like jump out of jets and do all sorts of crazy stuff. How do I have that life? And now I'm getting closer and closer to that life. I'm realizing the reality of it is not exactly what you see just on the cameras. It is fun to travel. It is. But the reality is that when you get here, just know that there's still work to be done. Rakidzich spent like 4 hours or 5 hours today on his computer before we went out to the ski lift. When we're in Thailand, he's always on his phone whenever I'm like, hey, Sean, look up. Oh, wow, look at that. And then he goes back. And so it does take time, and it's a process. You want to slowly remove yourself more and more from that kind of business life and just have other people handle it for you. But it's not this magical thing that you just now everything is wonderful and now you're having Lambos and private jets and everything's great. There's always going to be work. And so you either commit to the work now or commit to it later, because either way you're going to have to work. And life isn't about just handing out freebies. There's always effort. You have to add value in the market, and you have to add value to other people. And like we said earlier, if you feel like my channel or his channel add value to your life, we'd love to get to meet you. We're going to do some conferences in the future. We're going to do a lot of really kind of cool speaking engagements, and we hope to see you in the comments. And yeah,
or at the engagement.
At the engagement. Oh, who am I getting married to?
Well, you said you're doing speaking engagements.
Speaking engagements. Oh, am I going to be like
so like instead of just seeing you in the comments, we get to like see you in like real life, right?
Yeah.
Like a chair or at a table
or at actual engagements.
Yeah.
Like if you guys want to propose to each other and you guys want one of us to come out to your location, fly us out there, and we'd be like, do you take him? Do you take her?
Or him and him, or
you are
her
now
and her.
Engaged. Oh yeah, him and her.
Okay, yeah.
Goat to goat.
It's not binary anymore.
It could be animals. It could be humans. It could be all sorts of things.
To any animals who are currently watching this, please leave it in the comments.
Right. Wait, they have to have fingers to do it. They can't really.
Yeah. Okay, cats can
cats can do it. That's true. I've seen it.
Run that reel. All right, everyone. That was fun, wasn't it? So you guys know my channel. If you want to catch Sean Ray's newest YouTube channel.
Sean Ray Realty.
Wow.
No, actually, it's just Sean Ray.
It's just Sean Ray now?
I changed it.
Okay.
Yeah, I changed it. Yeah.
Cool. So follow Sean Ray. Link in the description. He talks about equity. I talk about arbitrage. And, of course, if you want to see some more Sean and Sean stuff, leave that in the comments. Let us know what you want us to shoot next, as long as it's not each other.
Oh.
Thanks for watching Airbnb
With
Automated.
paintball guns.
With paintball guns
That would
could
be
work.
fun. Yeah, that'd be
okay.
fun. Slow-mo-
All right,
slow-mo
strike
jumping.
that. No requests barred at this moment in time. If management has to interject, we'll cut one. But for now, whatever you want to see. Okay? Thanks for watching Airbnb Automated, and I'll see you on the other side.